Happy Friday. Welcome to Hug Nation Live. Giving a sec or two to let the. Make sure I have this set up right now. It should sound a little bit better. And good day to you. Happy Friday. This is John Halcyon, and we are having our daily Love Ambassador meetup. It's Hug Nation Live. It's a place where we can share gratitude and connect and remember that we're not alone. Remember there's billions of people out there with open hearts. Which reminds me, tomorrow is the No Kings protest. And I'm curious, is anyone planning on going to a protest tomorrow? I have not been speaking about politics much lately, but I am against kings. So I will put that out there. In general, I'm anti-king. Good morning, Juan. And hello to you, Gerbot. Hello to you both. And Juan, thank you for reaching out. Right, Juan checked in and was asking about a Love Ambassador meetup this year, and I really have not been doing a good job of thinking into the future. So I'm taking myself a little piece of paper here. I'm writing down calendar and Love Ambassador. I think it'd be fun to have another meetup. Ooh, Gerbot's going to be at the Capitol. Oh, no, sorry. All of a sudden, I had this feeling like, did I just give your whereabouts to the enemy? Like, oh no, you just typed it. It's the name Gerbot. I don't think we said anything dangerous. Man, I'm looking at my reflection. I feel ragged and elderly in appearance. Good morning, Christina. Christina says, no kings indeed. They are in solidarity, grateful for discernment, had an opportunity come up and that didn't feel values aligned and got confirmed my no was the correct call. Gerbot says, I'm also against fascists and criminals running roughshod over our government. Yes. I guess what made me think about the protests is that, the protests I was talking about this gathering. One of the purposes is to know that we're not alone. And that's, I think, one of the huge reasons for protesting. Protest doesn't have the effect of there's no real pressure of change that happens, but there is it does inflate, or it does it adds fuel to each individual's inner fire because they recognize that they are not alone, and that feeling of being beaten and oppressed, and it's like, oh no, we are mighty. I'm not the only one who is feeling this, and that is significant and important. There's also there's the benefit of feeling you're part of a big team and the energy from that. But I read this really awesome piece a while back that was really clear. And look, you got to understand that a protest is political theater, and it's really important to keep it peaceful, because you know what, I'm not going to do it justice, because actually the point wasn't keep it peaceful. It's just like, be aware of what it is. Like it's theater to try to affect opinions about public perception and things like that. Anybody seen the new One Battle After Another? I liked it when I saw it, and I like it more now that I've been thinking about it and reading some other people talking about it. But there's a scene in it when uh, there's it's based on a book called Vineland by Thomas Pynchon. That's old. It has to do with revolutionaries, like in the '60s, and so they update it with these modern revolutionaries. And there's a scene with a protest where it shows how the fascist police military force, they what they do to incite violence in order to justify their violence. And they say, uh, release Spider-Man, and a guy gets out of a white van, and he's dressed like a protester with a Spider-Man shirt on, and just so and but it's a cop, it's a cop all dressed up, and he has Molotov cocktails, and he throws the Molotov cocktails right in front of the cops. And so then the cops go, okay, now that's our green light to go respond to their violence, to the protester violence. And it was, I mean, it's a fictional film, but chilling to recognize how simple that kind of intentional agitation could be. Grovat says, I saw one battle after another, some serious Lebowski vibes. I like, what if someone say it's Lebowski meets Taken? Grovat also says, everything is awesome when you're part of a team. Totally. I haven't, we'll see. Maybe maybe I will try to get out there tomorrow. I didn't have plans currently. But I do have plans to go to a 4-year-old's birthday party on Sunday, and that I'm very much looking forward to. Anybody else want to share anything that they're feeling grateful for? I am grateful for my partner, Lisa, and our friend, Alexis, who is like Lisa's bestie in town, and she's in the choir. And so I've gotten to become closer friends with her. And if you listen to Lisa's podcast that she interviews me, and she interviewed Alexis as well. Alexis is a very wise and awesome person. And so this morning we were kind of pitching Lisa on the three of us to do a podcast, because I think our conversations would be really good. So I'm grateful for the presence of such fun and brilliant women in my life, including my mom, who I got to see yesterday. And I got to see my dad yesterday. So I'm super grateful that my parents are still around and kicking, and that I get to have the opportunity to spend time with them. I had an experience yesterday where I was visiting my folks, and I had a gratitude circle at noon, which I do every day, which you're always welcome, anyone who's listening. You can go to zoom.hugnation.com, or actually, if you go to either hugnation.com or lifestudent.com, and both of those will find you to anything else that I do. But so I generally host the circle at noon, and I was at my parents', and my dad didn't come down until like 10 minutes before noon. So I was trying to leave to go do the gratitude circle, and he was being very silly and funny. And I had this moment of like irritation, and because like I had a plan and he was making it so that I wasn't going to be on time for my plan. And I luckily caught myself like, wait a minute, like, you don't have to be at that gratitude circle, and your dad is in a great mood. Why don't, like, be present, immediacy, be with your dad. And so I spent a few more minutes with him, and I'm really glad I did. It's thank you, Birdie Man, and Daily Practices for helping me to pop out of the shoulds and into the what is. Heinen says, grateful for the ability to hold love for those who have trauma and outburst instead of being angry with them. I am finding curiosity. Oh man, yes, 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 yes to curiosity. When well done, good objective. When Lisa was leading the choir, the whole point of the theme of the choir season is finding harmony, finding connection within uh, division. And so she mentioned all these different ingredients. There's no simple answer, but one of the one of the ingredients she started with was curiosity. That if we are ever to come together, we we need to have genuine curiosity uh, about those that are outside of our circles, instead of trying to convince or trying to to battle. Juan's got tomorrow going to No Kings and then decompression in Oakland. Is that the same day? That's a big day. Good morning, Dustin. Dustin says, thank you for the love you share. You're so welcome. Thanks for being a part of it and inspiring it, being part of the inspiration. Dustin says, for 6 days, I have sat bedside with my mother who has failing organs. Yesterday, we brought her out of the high dosage of morphine so that she could have a few hours of lucidity to call her loved ones and say her goodbyes. I had to coach her a bit on how to see past the physical pain so she could have the clarity she needed to speak and hear the messages of love and appreciation. She was so strong. She went back on morphine shortly after and has been building up the meds required for a more comfortable end. I'm grateful that she is finally at peace, but also had the opportunity to speak to a number of those she loved so dearly. Mm. Thank you for sharing that, Dustin. Been having a lot of conversations lately about death and dying. I'm going at the end of this month. I'm going to Colorado for my uncle's memorial, and I believe I've talked about his. He just had this beautiful death, um, where he was able to say his goodbyes, and what a gift to know the end is coming, and to have the courage to face it enough to hear those messages and say the things. And bravo to you, Dustin, for being an ally and support to her, such that she could have that experience through the pain. I think there's so much that is difficult about the end, but there's beauty as well. Thanks for sharing that. Sending your family and your mom love. Dawn says, sending hugs from sunny Utah. Thanks, Dawn. Looks like it's going to be a sunny day in San Diego too. Although boy, do I like it when it's a little bit cooler. I'm actually wearing a beanie. That makes me so happy. And long sleeves. I'm wearing the Heart Centered Men logo shirt. This is my men's group logo. I dig it. Good morning, Chris. Heinen says, I am grateful for finding the Singing for Science YouTube channel and Paul Stamets, who is a big impact on my view of the world. Sweet. I'm grateful for coffee. I am grateful for a fun barbecue that I had last night. I barbecued Impossible Burgers and had all the fixins. I sauteed onions and mushrooms and had sliced tomatoes and lettuce and toasted the buns, and grateful for and grateful that I had the spaciousness to provide the meal. Lisa often makes our dinners, and then I do cleanup. but she's got a very packed world right now, and she's preparing for another concert. She leaves Sunday for the Monterey concert, and there's lots of loose ends that have to be figured out for that concert. And she's got uh, coaching clients all day today and tomorrow. So I told her last night, when she was thanking me for my help and my that yeah, she was thanking me for how I was helping and supporting her. And I was like, you know what? I cannot think of another person that I can't think of a better person to be working with to solve and help with better problems. It's like, how can we help a group of people sing to a bigger group of people to elevate all of their vibrations and heal? Like, she really, you, that plus the coaching she does, and it's like, man, she's just so much moving the dial so much towards positivity, such a love ambassador. Um, we have our different ways, but I'm just so inspired, so grateful. Chris says, grateful to have seen the Richard Gere produced documentary of the Dalai Lama last night, complete with a live Q&A simulcast with the producers of the film. Many of the things discussed in the film resonate with things we discuss here or in the Love Ambassador events or aspects of Burning Man. That's rad. Cool. Chris, we were talking earlier about what dates we might do a Love Ambassador meetup this year. So I will try to share that information ASAP. Anyone else want to share any more gratitude before we head out into our worlds? Oh, look. Hello, Janet. Janet says, I'm grateful to be collaborating with magical humans at work. I love hearing that. Thanks, Janet. Thanks for being a magical human. I'm grateful for all the recordings I have of my grandpa. Actually, did it already go live? Because I've been editing this interview that I did with him that it was never public because the video was mostly just audio. But I'm like, oh, I'll put it as a podcast. So it was fun to go through and hear him and have clips of him and talk about things that I hadn't like. There's a section where he's talking about what makes marriage work, and uh, there's some really good stuff. So I'm grateful for all the footage I have of my grandpa and how significant he is still in my life. Every day I say on behalf of Grandpa Caleb multiple times every day. So it's so great to be able to hear his voice and remember why he impacted me and continues to impact me so much. Juan says, I'm grateful for knowing that life is exactly like I wanted it to be and grateful to take a minute to realize it. Always chasing more can be good and bad. Fuck yeah, Juan. Take a minute to realize it. That is, I think, one of the massive gifts that I've received from a gratitude practice is the relief from the temptation to always chasing more. To taking those pauses and being like, oh wait, no, things there my list of things that are great is incredible. Makes me want to break out the book Pronoia. If you've ever checked out Pronoia by Rob Bresney, it is it's a lot of little reminders of how much is incredible. Maybe I should start integrating that book. I gotta find it. Any last gratitudes? I'm so grateful for this. Oops, I'm so grateful for this practice and for you. If you're here right now, if you've left a comment or even if you haven't, just this daily reminder of the people in my neighborhood. It helps to yeah. Like I was thinking that the at the choir, we have this there's 600 people singing, and I was like, wow, this is if I can remember that the world is also this, that's what a gift it is to be alive and conscious and connected to so many soaring hearts. Wow. Heinen says, being here now with gratitude is such a beautiful reminder. I agree. And with that, wherever you are, I invite you to give yourself a hug. But as you do so, imagine that you are hugging me and those of us here and all those that might be connected to this intention of connection, this intention of shared humanity, of shared humanness, of shared forgiveness and curiosity and wonder and awe. What a gift to be a part of all this and to share it with one another. Let's take a deep breath in and squeeze each other. On behalf of Grandpa Caleb and everyone here, thanks for being here. I love you. Happy Friday. Enjoy the day.